I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production. Today I want to answer someone's question and show how to use the modulators on the multiband plugins. Someone saw, inside some of the presets, the bands are moving around and they're doing all sorts of interesting things, and they wanted to know how to do that. And they asked me to do it with MTremoloMB. So let's get into that. Let's find it in here. Should be here under modulation and open it up. There we go. Now we could use this easy screen here, but I'll show you how to do it. Let's go into the edit screen. I'll set it to one band here just so we can see this setup. What I want to do is set this to multiple bands. Maybe let's try, I guess 5 bands would be good. So I'll open this here. I'm going to set, and maybe not 5, let's do 4. That's too many. Here, there's other ones we could do here, like linear phase and everything, but I don't think we really need it for this. So I'm going to do 4 bands. I'm going to leave it on analog here, like this. It will ask you if you really want to do this. I'm going to click yes, because I do. And now we have the different bands here. I have this on 24 decibel per octave crossover, but you could set that to any other one you want, depending on your needs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first band just by clicking on it here. And we're going to listen to it, and I'm probably going to just turn this off because I don't want my low end, having a bunch of stuff happening to it. Oh, before I do anything, let's bypass this and listen to our chords. So I'm going to show you 2 different styles. So one is this, just the crystal pad here. So even with any effects on it, you hear it has lots of movement. And here, this is just a plain supersaw pad. Just a pad and a filter on it. So that one's a little bit more boring. Let's start with a more interesting example here. So what I'm going to do is just move this band here to find the perfect cutoff to the low end, at least for me. So we'll solo it by clicking here. Oh, first thing, unbypass it. That's very important. I think that's good, but as you hear, it's kind of moving here. If we don't want that, if you look at the very bottom, it has this little grayed out button. This will bypass it. So let's play it and I'll show you what it does. So now that's done. This is just bypassed and we're just getting a bass note. Let's move to the next band here. We'll solo this and let's try to do something a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to solo it and I might sync this to tempo like this. Okay, I might even make this a little bit slower here, like this. So what I want to do now is take this and change the width. So this is going to offset the 2 sides. So let's set this to about 180 and hear it now. So to me, it sounds like it's swirling. This is sounding nice. I could increase or decrease the depth, but I think it sounds good at 50. I'll let you hear what that sounds like though. I think that's enough to get some swirling there, and that's good. Next, let's move up to the highest band here. So I'm going to move this up and down just like I did the low end until I hear, something in the high end here. I think that's enough, but it seems a little bit low in volume. So you see this little line here? I can move this up and down to increase or decrease the volume like this. I think that's good. And now let's do the same thing here. I'll sync it up here, and let's try maybe 1/8 notes might be good. Actually, I don't know. Maybe try it even slower like this. Maybe dotted. Now do the same thing as before. Set this to 180. I'll even do negative 180. like this. Okay, and let's do next one, this middle band. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Before, I've always used this little sine wave here. But instead, what I want to do is, I'll set this to 100% depth, and let's use a step sequencer. If I do it like this, it's going to sound a bit weird. Actually, let's sync this to tempo first. Maybe 1 bar here. That's okay, but let's try to do something a little bit more interesting. If we use these little slopes here, I think this will sound maybe a bit better, I think. So let's try this one. And we can just go like this. That's okay. But I made this in a previous video of Euclidean rhythms here. So let's try this. Do I want to try 8th notes, 16th notes? This is 8th. Let's try 5/8. Hear what this sounds like. Now let's make it a little bit faster. So instead of a whole measure, let's try half note. Okay, now if this is sounding good, let's put all these together like this. Now I think that adds lots of movement. Actually, let's hear the other example here with the saw wave. So now we set everything up, but you're probably saying, hey, you didn't show me any of the modulation. Okay, I'm sorry. So let's get into that now. If you look here, the utilities, and move this up here. Actually, let's switch back to the first one. I like this one. It sounds better to me. You see we have the mods in here. So let's move this first one like this. We're going to click clear and learn, and we can just move this crossover here like this. Turn it off, open it up, and we can see this can be synced, or it can be just here like this. Yeah, we can set frequency to a note, but we don't really need that. Let's try maybe here 4,000. And if I want to, I can sync it there, but I think there's enough things synced. Let's look at the values. Let's say the maximum value should be about 400 something, and maximum value is like 1,000. So, and this will just move back and forth. Now it's not going to move because we don't have it enabled. So you can either click here to enable it like this, and you see it's on, or this little dot, I can click it on and off like this. Now let's play it now and watch this move. That sounds good, but I think this needs to be slower. Move this down like that. Now let's do one more modulation. Let's use a second one here. And instead of modulating all this stuff, let's modulate this volume. So I'm just going to click clear and learn on this. And I'm going to move this volume up and down. Let's move it like this. So now if we look in here, we should be able to see the range. So the minimum range is -4.21 and the maximum is 6.19. So it's going to move between those. And now I could use the same thing here with another LFO. I can change the shape if I want. If I want to even do a custom shape, I can go like this, go in here, and make whatever weird shape I want. That's easy. I could also use a follower or something, but here, let's try random. So what I want to do is have this move randomly up and down. So let's play it and see what that does, and then afterwards, I'll kind of change some things. So here we go. Actually, first, make sure it's on. Make sure I click this. So now both of these are on at the same time. Okay, so that's good, but see, this is kind of moving up a little bit too fast. If we don't want that, we're going to use the speed and turn this down. So maybe -250%. The percent, I believe, is based upon the tempo of your song. So it's going to be different each time, so it's not a set value, I believe. But there you go. So let's play it one more time with this slower movement. And there you go. And of course, you can do other things, like if I use this band here that's playing this and change this to 90, it'll be a little bit out of sync. It almost sounds like a delay, like this. And let's hear it on the other pad. So as you can hear, this is doing a lot. It went from that, it started here, and then changed to this. So by using this, you can change a bland, boring pad into something rhythmic with lots of stereo width and all sorts of movement going on. So that's how you use these modulators. I used it here for the band separation and the volume, but there's other things you can do too. Here is the center, so these can be offset, the panorama if you want to. And now for MTremoloMB, I don't know if I don't know if I'd do that, but there could be some situations I might want to do that. So let me try a quick 2-band example. If I had this, and let's say I want to split these a different way. Let's say I want the low end here going to the left and the high end here going to the right. I'll offset these at different rates, like set this to eighth notes, and I'll set this to quarter note triplets like this. And now you get an interesting sound. Probably make this faster. So you can do interesting things with the panorama, and also this can be modulated by a modulator also. So if I wanted to have both of these move randomly like this, I'd set them to the random modulator for both and set each target different. Now, if I don't have this, when I play this, each of these are going to be moving in sync like this. But if I don't want them moving in sync, I just put each target different, and now each of these will move randomly in different ways. So I hope I showed you some of the possibilities you can do with these multi-band plugins. I use this effect, but this can be done with any of the multi-band effects. There's more you can do with this. So besides these different analog crossovers, you have linear phase, which is about the same. But you can also do this with the level, the panorama, mid-side, parallel processing, etc., and even serial processing to get all sorts of interesting and weird and out there sounds, and really take something that's boring and make it more interesting. So, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, leave me any questions or comments down below, and check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.